This is mostly suitable for those kind of people who are looking either to migrate or for work visa purposes, especially in Canada. The most important part is this is a center-based test.
Okay.
Now we're seeing a lot of universities inclined towards a center-based test more than an online-based. And for the students, do not worry about the entirety of the process, but only the actual test.
Okay.
That is something that you need to worry. Please carry your original passport. This is non-negotiable.
Hello everyone, in this video we have Ayush from Pearson PTE, is the Business Development Manager for this region, who is going to throw some light on questions from students. So Ayush, welcome.
Thank you so much, Sandeep. Thank you for having me here.
Pleasure is ours. The first question, can we start the question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ayush, firstly, there's a lot of curiosity in the student fraternity about the PTE Core.
Okay.
Can you please throw some light on it?
So, Sandeep, you've rightly mentioned we've been in talks with the IRCC team for another type of test, which is PTE Core. This has been existing on the updates page since a very long time, but honestly speaking, just to give you a brief about it, it's in addition to the already existing portfolio of tests that we already have. Mostly, if you look at PTE Core as a test format, it carries almost the similar format of what we've already been doing with PTE Academic and other tests that we hold. So we have speaking, we have listening, we have writing, so reading. It's similar to the test that we already have. The only thing that would be different here is the acceptability of the test on its own. This is mostly suitable for those kind of people who are looking either to migrate or for work visa purposes, especially in Canada. Yes. So that was one thing that was missing from our portfolio and which we are ready to launch. So hopefully we will be launching this probably towards the first half of the next year. So yeah, so this is the brief about PTE Core. We'll be sharing some more updates on how is it going to work, what kind of demographic are we aiming with this particular product, how is it suiting your requirements, where exactly you can go through the materials for exactly only for PTE Core. So for now, I think PTE Core would be launched probably towards the first half of the next year.
First half of the next year, PTE Core is coming. And to summarize this test PTE Core is going to be for the test takers who are planning to work in Canada, are planning to migrate to Canada. So more details are coming. So Ayush is saying the test will be launching in the first half of the 2024.
Right.
So that's about the summary of the question. And second question, Ayush, currently, within how much time are you issuing the results? Like once the student takes the exam,
right?
Within how much time the results are? We know that, but it has to come from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, agreed. So this is something that we are very proud of, Sandeep, and this is something, and this is something that we admire because it's not the tat that we take to release the result. However long or short it may be, it is helping the students and the consultants and even the coaching trainers in a lot of various perspectives. So if you talk from a coaching perspective or from the student's perspective, our TAT is within 48 hours. So we've also seen instances where a student gives the exam in the morning and by the time he reaches home or probably within the next 6-7 hours, he's getting the results. And that's a very common concept with PTE Academic. So as of now, if you talk about the turnaround time for results, max to max 99%, it is 4 to 5 days. Right? Students always have an option to escalate to the customer support global team in case the TAT crosses 5 days.
5 working days.
5 working days. That's a default concept that everyone has in their portal. So on an average, we've seen the results come out within 24 to 48 hours.
I think last week, one of the students took the exam.
Right.
After 20-30 minutes of the exam, he got a mail stating your result is out, you can check it, you can download and start using it.
That's how it is. So the reason why we are we put it on top whenever we speak to the students is because it helps them to a lot of extent to reduce the entire process duration for their study abroad aspirations. So the visa processing happens a little quicker, the file goes a little quicker, and then they have it prepared. They have more time to prepare for the other things than just to wait for the results. So yeah, 24 to 48 hours to answer your question.
The result is coming faster, number one. Number two, once the result is out, once the student sees the results in the portal,
right,
immediately the result is shareable.
Absolutely.
It's
That's
not
there.
that you are giving one online result first, then the certificate you're issuing later. The
Right.
certificate, usable report is coming.
So we don't
very
believe
fast.
in complications. We believe in making it easier for the student. I mean, PTE Academic as of now is known to be a simpler test. I will not say easier, but a simpler test. And the TAT and the ease of the test, the relevancy of the test is a testimonial to all of these concepts. Yeah.
So, and other question, Manish.
Yeah.
How PTE Academic is different from the other language proficiency exams?
Okay. See, there are a lot of English language test options that are available in the market. There's no good or bad when it comes to an English language test. More so, it caters to the same requirements. But it's the suitability of the person taking the test that matters, right? If the person is okay with having the results thrown out to him at the earliest, probably within 24 hours, more relevant to what he is going to use once he moves to abroad. We are proud of the fact that PT is more relevant, yeah, compared to all the other English language tests. We don't assess one skill or 10 skills. We assess those number of skills that are actually relevant for the student to go there, right?
So after going there, studying in the university.
Absolutely. Day-to-day
interacting with
speaking,
people,
yeah,
day-to-day speaking,
yeah,
day-to-day
absolutely.
communication, basically.
Right.
It's more close to that.
Absolutely. So to sum it up, we are completely AI driven. Our test formats are AI driven. Our results are AI driven. Post result process, like you rightly mentioned, you can share your scores quickly to the universities. That's also a part of AI. So that's one thing that I don't think other ELTs offer. And for the larger audience, ELTs is nothing but English language tests. And then there are other tests wherein the results take a lot of time. That's one thing that's a problem that we are solving through PTE Academic. The other thing is relevancy that I mentioned, and convenience. This is one major factor. So it's a one sitting test.
And it is, the test is available almost 365
365 days. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Throughout the year, the test is available.
So the students have the option of booking the test even 24 hours prior to their test slot. So that's one of the major distinguishing factor from other tests that we have in the market. And the second thing is convenience. Like I mentioned, you have an option to reschedule the test too, right? So there's a window that's available to all of the students, probably 14 days.
Rescheduling is possible.
They can reschedule it.
It's happening very much prior. There's no charge.
There's no charge. Yeah.
Towards the back end, then there will be some charge
Right.
to schedule the exam.
Right. That depends on the CS team and the date. The closer the duration, the complex it becomes. But there's still a window to reschedule the test or probably to cancel the test. And fourth thing, the most important part is this is a center-based test.
Okay.
So whenever there's a center-based test, Sandeep, the acceptability automatically increased when you compare it with the other online test, home-based editions. Now we're seeing a lot of universities inclined towards a center-based test more than an online-based test, right? Yeah, because a lot of universities are now asking the students and the coaching institutes to prefer to go for a center-based test rather than home-based test because of the acceptability in the visa process. Yeah. So center-based test would always give an edge to the student. That's one thing. And in Hyderabad, we have around 2 centers as of now. In South entirely, we have around 9 to 10 centers in various cities.
And full capacity right now.
Absolute full capacity. Absolute full capacity.
Ayush, can you talk about the student experience while taking the exam, entering into test center, giving the exam, coming out? Perfect. How does that thing work, that process work? Do you have any?
I think that's a very good question, Sandeep, because we've seen a lot of students, and this is a very high stake test. Yeah, there are a lot of hopes and dreams attached to this process, and this invites a lot of anxiety and pressure towards the students. So I think this is a very right question to be asked at this forum, wherein we are able to put this to rest once and for all. See, one message and just to answer your question for the students. Do not worry about the entirety of the process, but only the actual test. That is something that you need to worry because it's a high stake test at the end of the day. So the entire process, you reach the center, let's say your slot is booked at around 11 o'clock, right? So we suggest students to reach the center, to be on a safer side, at least 30 minutes prior, a minimum, right? So once they reach the center, they'll be greeted by the test invigilator at the gate. Students would not be allowed to enter the premises with their phones on, switched on phones. They have to switch off their phones right at the entrance, enter the forum, enter the reception area, switch off the phone. You will be assigned a dedicated personal locker. Every student would be assigned a designated personal locker wherein they can keep their valuables. So you'll be greeted by the invigilator. You'll be asked to wait. There would be a pamphlet that would be handed over to you with all the terms and conditions which you have to go through, and you can hand it back to the test taker, administrator. Yeah, administrator. And then once you are called to the reception for your biometrics, that's the very important part. One thing which I missed adding here is that please carry your original passport. This is non-negotiable, right? Again, it's a high stake visa process. So please carry your original passport, and please make sure that while booking your test, your name matches as it is. Name, date of birth, right? Because we get a lot of questions. Yeah.
As per the passport, name,
absolutely.
Passport, date of birth. So at westptcoaching.com, what we're doing for our learners and those who are coming as a walk-in and calling us, we are creating account for them.
Absolutely.
So
that's
because we have a dedicated person sitting and seeing every letter of the name in the passport and matching it with the
that's very crucial. That's very important. Yeah.
So every little detail we are taking care and we are booking so that we can avoid any test cancellations. Because sometimes when the name doesn't match, for example, just to quote an example, somebody's name is Muhammad Imran. Right. And this person's passport says MOHAMMED.
Correct.
Right. Imran. And he wrote, like in day-to-day life, how they write MD Imran.
Right. That'll be a huge issue. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So the students have to be extremely aware about the fact that their details during the slot booking matches exactly how it is in their passport. Irrespective of the details matching, you need to carry your original passport. That's one thing. Second, original passport. Xerox would not be accepted. Yeah, absolutely. And once you reach the designated center, you'll be asked for your biometrics and you'll be asked to read aloud your name from the passport. Once that process is done, you'll be asked to wait till your there'll be a passport photo session too. That sometimes happens and sometimes it does not. If the passport is fine, I don't think that's a process. But then yes, to amp up the security measures, that's also a process that's taken up sometimes. That's one thing. Third thing is now you'll be asked to wait at the lobby, at the common lobby for your test time to start. And while you are entering the test center, the actual center, you'll be asked to, empty out your pockets. And it's a general test. Yeah, it's a general process that happens for all the tests.
Anybody would follow while conducting the
Absolutely. So you'll be asked to empty out your pockets and then you can enter the center. During the examination, if you have any questions whatsoever, any doubts, you can take an unscheduled break. This is not something that we suggest the students to, but if there's a emergency or they have some issue, they can take an unscheduled break. And third thing is, during the test, during the duration of the test, if there's any issue, system issue or headphone issue or anything, they don't have to call out the administrator, they just have to raise their hand. As simple as that. An administrator would come to the student within 10 seconds and resolve the issues. That's the entirety of the test taking experience. It's a pretty simplified process for the student, right? And once he's given the test, he can return back to his home. Yeah.
And once the result is out, he'll be or she'll be intimated via
email. Absolutely. Yeah.
Stating that result is out, log into your account and check the score.
Absolutely. That's how it is. And just to add on to this, Sandeep, now a lot of students during their test slot bookings might face some of the other issues. So I would suggest the students in and around this center, this location, they can come down to Sandeep because he has a designated manpower to help you out with the entire test slot booking process, coaching, and an hands-on experience as to how the test is actually going to be. I think that's the experience that you will get here is testament to the fact that he has around a decade plus of experience with within the English coaching industry. So I think with the slot bookings, with the entirety of helping you out with the entire process, this would be a right place. So you can visit bestptecoaching.com and I think Sandeep will be more than happy to help you out.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
We have 2 people dedicatedly working for account creation, slot booking.
Right,
absolutely. Working hours, working days, we are more than happy to help anybody out. In terms
Amazing.
of account creation, right, or scheduling the exam, booking the slot, making the payment on behalf of you, everything we can do. These are the things we can do.
Perfect.
All right, Ayush. Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much for having me here, Sandeep. Thank you.
Pleasure. We keep doing more of such sessions to spread the information.
Absolutely.
Awareness on PTE.
I think that's very important. Yeah, that's very important. So more than the information part of it, there being a lot of information on the internet, it's important that we clear the cloud by having these kind of discussions. So I'll be more than happy to come down again and have a session.
Most welcome.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I hope this video helps you in preparing for PTE Academic. That's it for now. See you in the next video. Bye.